promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. Come fly the friendly skies.
The preceding has been a presentation of NBC Sports.
I'm Pat Miles.
And I'm Kevin McDowell. Just ahead on this late edition of KARE 11 News at 10, families with loved ones in the Gulf brace as the new year brings the deadline of war in the Gulf one day closer.
State troopers get a New Year's Eve reprieve of sorts with a slow night out on the road.
And we'll introduce you to 1990's favorite son.
KARE 11 News is up next.
Welcome to the U.S. West Cellular time trials. To prove that mobile phone service from U.S. West Cellular actually buys you time, we're having two identical businessmen race to reach their anxious customer, Gwendolyn, at her desk. And the best time wins. Ready, set, go.
Hello, Gwendolyn.
We have a winner. Proof that with U.S. West Cellular, what you're really buying is time.
U.S. West Cellular, making the most of your time.
The four-wheel drive from Mazda. The new Navajo. Mazda 4x4s. Even a four-wheel drive MPV. The time of year you need one to feel just right. Factory-to-dealer incentives on MPV. Cash back from Mazda on trucks. Or special options packages can save you up to $25.75. Mazda. There's no stopping us now. And with deals like this, there's no stopping you.
At your Mazda dealer in Brooklyn Center, White Bear Lake, Minnetonka, Richfield, and Inver Grove Heights now.
3M salutes the Olympic athletes who found a better way. Whose ideas were so original, there's no going back. That same innovative thinking helped us invent Post-it brand notes. And the way you leave messages has never been the same. 3M, innovation working for you.
Happy New Year from KARE 11.
From your 24-hour news station, this is Paul Majors, Diana Pierce, Tom Reiter, and meteorologist Paul Douglas. And this is KARE 11 News at 10.
We'll take a look at some of the changes we saw in 1990, the reunification of Germany, the end of the Cold War, freedom for a long-time political prisoner, changes that signified a move toward world peace. But now we enter a new year in a position that 1 year ago we might not have dreamed of, faced with the very real possibility of war. Good evening and Happy New Year, everyone. Paul and Diana have tonight off. People all around the world ushered in a brand new year last night, counting down the seconds to 1991.
Now, world leaders are counting down the days to a UN deadline for war in the Gulf, and it is just 15 days away.
A step in the diplomatic direction was apparently taken tonight in Washington, though. President Bush huddled with his top advisors and put forth a proposal to send Secretary of State James Baker to the region to meet with allies and possibly to Iraq if a meeting can be arranged. His departure could come, they say, as early as Thursday. And before heading home, Vice President Dan Quayle wrapped up a 3-day visit to Saudi Arabia, telling U.S. troops they have been patient enough. He says because nothing so far has moved Saddam Hussein to withdraw his troops from Kuwait, force may now be necessary. However, Quayle promised them it would not be another Vietnam. Here at home, the families of U.S. soldiers are watching events in the Mideast very closely, and they are troubled that a year which began with so much promise for world peace ended with the imminent threat of war. KARE 11's Dennis Stauffer spoke with two of those families about their hopes and fears for the year ahead.
Oh, and then I sent him neck scarves, ski mask, gloves.
Anita White celebrated New Year's Day watching the Rose Bowl with family and friends. The offense and defense played on the football field was far less serious than the real-life fighting she knows her son Tony may face in Saudi Arabia.
He's more than willing to do anything he has to do to get out of there and go home to his family.
Sergeant Tony Padilla is an assault radioman with the 82nd Airborne. His desert post is the most remote of any U.S. position in Saudi Arabia. He has a wife and kids waiting for him at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, as well as family here. His sister Lisa says this past year has been rough on all of them.
It's not a good feeling to wonder if your brother is going to live or die. And I really wish this would end, and I wish it would end real soon.
Those sentiments are shared by Camille Lee, who suddenly found herself in the role of a single parent of a 3-year-old and a new baby. when her husband Eric's reserve unit was called up in September.
I fell apart. I started crying, and you know, it's like your whole life just changes in that phone call, and you just don't think it's going to happen to you.
Eric Lee is part of an airborne medical unit which would care for the wounded a war would surely bring. Camille worries about what the new year will bring for him, for herself, and for her children. 3-year-old Nikki struggles to make sense of things she can't possibly grasp.
Where's your daddy?
Inside with you.
What's he doing over there?
Teaching people.
She thought it was her fault that Daddy left us. That, you know, that she was naughty. That's why Daddy went away. Later in the evening, she'll start crying, and I'll say, "What's wrong?" And she'll say, "I miss Daddy."
You can bet Daddy misses her, too. Dennis Stauffer, KARE 11 News, Apple Valley.
Like so many other husbands, fathers, and brothers, both men have orders which could keep them in Saudi Arabia well into the new year, another 6 months or even longer.
In other news, a St. Paul police officer is recovering tonight after being hurt in a New Year's Eve car accident. It happened just after midnight in St. Paul near the intersection of 7th and Cedar. Officer Paul Gora was responding to a routine call when another car ran a stoplight and hit him. Gora suffered a broken jaw. It's not clear whether alcohol was involved. As tradition has it, partygoers tip a few too many drinks on New Year's Eve, but last night, apparently, it seems that the party didn't spill onto Minnesota roads as much as it might have in the past. KARE 11's Melissa Young reports for New Year's Eve, state troopers enjoyed a quiet party all their own.
It was a quiet New Year's Eve by all accounts. No serious accidents. There were drunk driving arrests, but no more than any other Monday night.
Probably the reason last night would be that more so than any other night, people are aware that we're out looking for them after they've had a little too much to drink, so they take steps not to be driving after they've been at parties on New Year's Eve.
Sober Cab, may I help you? Some of the credit may go to Sober Cab. This year alone, Sober Cab will give nearly 2,000 people a free ride home after a night of drinking. That's almost double the number they did last year.
The Sober Cab is designed to get people off the roads, make roads safer for the people out there, preventing injuries and deaths.
Okay, you need to watch for the cab. It'll probably be about 20 minutes before he arrives.
Tonight is the last night of this year's Sober Cab service. Volunteers answer the phones and then forward the requests on to the taxi company. Carolyn Mosley is waiting for her Sober Cab ride. It's a service she's used before.
I don't drink real often, but when I do, I just have sense enough not to drive.
A number of bars and hotels like Rusty's Tavern are recommending Sober Cab more than ever. It's helping more people get a safe start to the new year. Melissa Young, KARE 11 News, Minneapolis.
Sober Cab is sponsored by the Council of Hospital Corporations. They, by the way, pick up the tab for all the Sober Cab rides.
For most people, the first of the year is marked with the pledge of change, and for some people in Minneapolis today, that pledge is to help curb violence in their community. Well, these singers rang in the new year at the YMCA in Minneapolis, reaching out a hand and resolving to make the new year a better and a safer one. They traced outlines of their hands on a poster and listed individual ways to make a difference.
I wrote the wisdom to know and realize that we all need each other. And if we know and realize that, I think we'll take better care of each other.
Organizers say the symbolic hand tracing is a good way to illustrate the community's commitment to fight all forms of violence in 1991.
The Minnesota Civil Liberties Union tonight is vowing to make 1991 the year of change regarding Minnesota law and gay rights. The MCLU is calling on Governor-elect Arne Carlson and state lawmakers to broaden the human rights law this year to include a sexual orientation, and that effort has been unsuccessful in the past. At a news conference this morning, Executive Director William Rose says discrimination against gays and lesbians is a severe problem that needs to be addressed.
Hate crimes are on the rise against them. Homophobia seems to come out of the closet easier than gays do, and I guess these cases, and certainly the task force report, shows that discrimination is widespread and extremely harmful.
Now, the report that he refers to shows how courts and lawmakers, legislators, consistently side against gays and lesbians. The MCLU hopes that report will push Governor Carlson to action. They say if it doesn't, they'll seek legislative sponsors to get the Minnesota human rights law changed.
He was expected to arrive any time, and his timing couldn't have been better. At 15 minutes past the stroke of midnight, little Adam Michael Tenor became the Twin Cities' firstborn of the year, and only a few hours later he entered the world of the television lights. However, the bright lights proved a bit too tough to take on his hours-old eyes. Little Adam made the new year a special one for his parents, Lynette and Brian of Bloomington. This is the couple's first child.
Perfect timing. Yeah. More to come. We'll tell you about the first day of the new year after a break. Runners plunge into 1991 and what's become a New Year's Day tradition.
And in the extra tonight, some advice on ways to make those New Year's resolutions stick for a change.
And in sports, football lovers spectacular with highlights from all the bowl action, so stay with us.
The way you prove to a customer they're special is by doing things for that customer that your competitors don't. LDB customers receive 16 exclusive features with monthly reports that include the duration reducer, the great management tool, the eye-opener report, and our executive reports. These are some of the special features LDB provides that our competitors don't. This proves our customers are special to us. LDB, long distance for business. This is the best for your business, and we can prove it.
Why do you rent videos from Tidal Wave?
Great selection of new releases.
Greatest selection I've ever found, any place.
Tidal Wave has hundreds of Dick Tracy, so you can rent what you want, when you want. Dick Tracy, world's greatest detective, now at Tidal Wave. Or rent RoboCop 2, part man, part machine, all cop. You'll find a whole lot more video at Tidal Wave.
A whole lot more of a whole lot more. Tidal Wave, music and video store.
The Twin Cities' largest video rental selection is at Tidal Wave.
It's cool.
What's the reaction to the latest sale at Dairy Queen?
Calling all cars.
For just 99 cents, you can get either a Blizzard treat, a home-style double burger, a single bacon cheeseburger, or a blended cup of frozen yogurt. So hurry into your Dairy Queen store for the Nines Are Wild 99-cent sale. You'd be nuts not to.
We treat you right.
Toyotathon Coast to Coast is almost over.
There are still great deals on every Toyota.
But they're going fast.
Joe Garagiola.
Joe.
Well, your Rango's here saved a fast 2,000, eh?
More than 2,000.
With financing, made it easy. These guys are really dealing.
We really are dealing. With option package savings up to $900 and Camry incentives up to $1,500.
Trucks, too.
But not for long. Don't miss it.
See your Toyotathon dealer.
Today.
January 12th promises to be a night of fun, and for about $20 you can get in on it. That's the night of the inaugural ball at Minneapolis Convention Center, the official welcome to office bash for Governor-elect Arnie Carlson. Tickets can be purchased at any Ticketmaster outlet, or you can buy them at the Orpheum Theater.
Tragedy in suburban Chicago this New Year's Day, and that tops Datelines tonight. Fires swept through a two-story house, killing a woman and her two children and two other youngsters who were spending the night. The victims were found in their second-floor beds. A man and three other kids managed to escape by climbing out of a window. Investigators aren't sure what caused it. Gunfire rang out in Milwaukee, Wisconsin as bar patrons rang in the new year. Police say a man entered a tavern and then opened fire. 3 people were killed. A 4th is in critical condition right now. The gunman was reportedly thrown out earlier in the night after fighting with a woman. The suspect remains at large.
What started off as a 4-mile run over Lake Minnetonka today ended with an ice-cold dip in the water. Well, if ever there was a way to cure a New Year's Eve hangover, this might be it. 21 members of the American Lung Association's running club, stripped down to shorts and suits, jumped right into the bone-chilling water.
Was the best ever as far as conditions. It's really not bad out here. The water, though, was pretty cold.
The On It and In It Run and Dive is an annual tradition for members of the state's largest running club. And a New Year's Day full of flying is becoming an annual tradition for a group of model airplane buffs from all around the area. Members of the 3M Radio Control Flying Club and the Stillwater Flyers guided themselves to Cottage Grove, where they turned a big field into an airstrip. The day was capped off with a bonfire and a feast of chili, and then a little hot cider.
It was a relatively mild day. Not mild enough, I don't think, to take a dip in the lake. But it was nice compared to the last few we've been
Well, you
having.
wouldn't forget this day, would you, if you did that?
Not at all. Yeah, we did see the warmest temperatures of the day earlier, and then
Nice.
the thermometer began to fall. Brief cool down before temperatures begin to recover again towards the end of the week. Here's a look at today's almanac data. The actual high was 25, but that was reached just after midnight. Our low for the day is our current temperature so far, 2 degrees. We do have some scattered clouds out there. Northwest winds still kicking up at 18 miles an hour, and that puts the wind chill at 33 below zero. Pressure is now continuing to rise. Well, here's a look at how December of 1990 is going to be remembered. Temperature-wise, it certainly was a roller coaster ride, ranging from a record high of 50 on the 8th to 22 below for a record low just the day after Christmas. All in all, we fared slightly below normal by 2 degrees in the average temperature department, but precipitation-wise, we were slightly above normal when we saw just over an inch total for the month. That helped to put our yearly total at 33 inches, nearly 7 inches above normal. But precipitation is not something we're going to be finding over the next few days. In fact, the first few days of 1991 are going to remain very dry, but we will find some temperature changes already. Much colder air into the northern part of the state, with 21 below right now in Warroad and 20 below in Bemidji. In fact, sub-zero numbers nearly statewide. We're hanging on to those plus numbers in the extreme southeast, with 2 in the cities and 10 degrees right now. Rochester 20 as we look towards Madison, but the cold air continues to filter in from the north. The reason why is another Arctic cold front that moved through today, and here's the satellite loop. Along with that front, we did see some clouds from time to time, mainly this morning with a few flurries. But as the front swept through, we saw clearing skies and those gusty northwest winds. Still a few clouds and flurries hanging back to our west. But really, it was a quiet start to the year nationwide, with only temperatures making weather headlines today. Near Sacramento, California, 13 days in a row of sub-freezing temperatures. And readings were below normal across the eastern seaboard as well, where that first Arctic front we saw over the weekend now lies across the southeast. Here's a look at tonight's weather map, and our front now lies across the central plain states. It continues to move to the south and east. We still have those strong north to northwest winds as a factor, but they'll begin to diminish over the next few hours as this central high pressure system crests right over the state. So temperatures will bottom out with those clear skies, will be about -10 when you wake up early tomorrow morning, and will barely get above the 0 degree mark for highs. I'll spell it all out for you in the forecast right after this.
Whatever team you're rooting for on New Year's Day, Entertainment Tonight has got the inside story to put you in the right spirit.
You can go out in front of thousands of people and act as crazy as you want to.
We'll show you some of the wildest college mascots on the most important day of the year for the nation's college football teams.
It's easy not to feel silly because you know that people don't know who you are.
Find out how we're kicking off 1991 with a big bang. Get the inside story on Entertainment Tonight.
The Johnsons had an open house tonight, but the guests weren't invited. Luckily, the Johnsons had the Gold Star homeowners policy from American Family Insurance. American Family will repair or replace their house. Great protection on their contents, too. Gold Star homeowners insurance, the best protection you have against uninvited guests.
American Family Insurance.
Look in the white or yellow pages for the American Family agent nearest you. For the next 30 seconds, there will be nothing on television. No commercial, no nothing. So we suggest you use this time to simply reach over and give your child a hug. This message brought to you on behalf of kids by all the people at Tom Thumb.
Well, the second day of the new year is going to be soggy right along the Gulf Coast and into northern Florida, while snow falls, lake effect snow, across the Great Lakes and also into parts of New England. For us, nothing but dry, high pressure in control, so we will find an abundance of sunshine, but look for the thermometer to barely struggle above the 0 degree mark. At least winds aren't going to be a factor. We're not looking at strong wind chills, but a high barely making it to 6 degrees. Plenty of cold air entrenched across the northern plains, but then it looks like readings will begin to recover slightly by Thursday and Friday. We may hit 20 on Friday before more cold air arrives for the week's end, and still no major storms in sight. So here are the forecast details for tonight.
Just partly cloudy, but colder. Expect low temperatures to drop between -5 and -10 as those north to northwest winds diminish. Abundant sunshine tomorrow, but look for single numbers above 0 for highs. And then here's that extended forecast with lots of sunshine on Thursday, a high temperature near 11, maybe 20 on Friday, before we cool back into the single numbers again for the weekend.
A big warm-up on the way, huh? 20
I'll
degrees.
take it.
It's warm here.
20 degrees is normal for this time of the year.
I'll take it.
In January. Okay,
Thank
thanks,
you,
Ellen. Well, we want to thank you for your generosity. This year's Minnesota Volunteer Connection Drive was a wild success. This year, twice as many of you volunteered your time. 1,311 Minnesotans pledged 249,400 hours of time, and that's twice as many hours as last year. Even though the drive officially ended last night, you can still pledge your time by calling 1-800-65-SERVE, or you can call your local Voluntary Action Center.
And up next in the Extra, confessions of Minnesota revelers who want to make positive changes in 1991.
Exercise more and eat less.
Quit smoking cigarettes.
Making a job change.
Go on a diet starting tomorrow.
I'm still thinking about it. Live day to day. There's no need for resolutions.
Sometimes the weather is the news.
This cold wave poses an extra threat to elderly folks. The combination of bitter cold and
That's why every hour, on the hour, 24 hours a day,
if you have an elderly neighbor living next door, why not go out and give them a hand?
you can depend on Paul Douglas and KARE 11 News for the weather information
Thanks for doing the walk.
That's all right, Mrs. Wilson.
that really matters.
The Year of the Uniform will make you feel like a North Star. Be one of the first 3,000 fans, 16 and under, to attend 4 special North Star games and get replica or collectible North Stars gear free. Get a piece of the action with the North Star's Year of the Uniform. Saturday, January 5th, collect a regulation hockey stick free when the North Stars go blade to blade with the Vancouver Canucks. Get tickets at Met Center, Ticketmaster, or charge by phone at 989-5151.
Do you know an outstanding volunteer you'd like to nominate for the 11 Who Care Award? Then call us now for a nomination form. All applications must be received by February 1st.
Those who care will always answer. We are not the ones who matter, but we know what matters.
The house came down and the new year came in last night at International Market Square in Minneapolis. Thousands of revelers welcomed in 1991 at one of the metro area's largest parties. Some marking the year with a toast, others a kiss, and still others, of course, a resolution. After all, what would New Year's be without a resolution? To save money, to lose weight, to quit smoking. Those are some of the most common vows made as the clock strikes midnight, January 1st.
And later we'll find out about Kevin's resolution. But first, before the confetti has even settled, most people have forgotten their promises to themselves. And whether you want to hear it or not, there is a way to make this popular ritual result in some real change in the year to come. In tonight's Extra, KARE 11's Gail Plawacki has a few ideas on how to make it all stick.
Are you good at keeping your resolutions?
Sometimes I keep some on there.
How good are you at keeping New Year's resolutions?
I'm the best. I keep all my New Year's resolutions.
Well, no, I'm not very good at keeping them, but I'm good at making them.
It's a time of celebration, a chance to look back and feel good about making it through yet another year. But it's also a time to look forward and promise to do better in the future. But although most people resolve to make improvements, few actually do.
Very few people do. They make them, but it's because they make such large general resolutions, things like I'd like to have better relationships, more money, a better job. And then those are so huge and so out of reach that people can't accomplish them.
In her groups through Fairview's Behavioral Service, Leach tries to help people set more manageable goals, make achievable resolutions.
Smoking. I'm going to quit. Just plain quit. But what does it mean for tomorrow? For tomorrow, it means one less.
According to Leach, the ultimate goal for the year can be large if the steps to reach it are small. With the threat of war in the Persian Gulf and an eroding environment, you might expect to hear people vowing to work for world peace or promising to recycle in 1991. But few resolutions are quite that noble.
To exercise more and to eat less.
Quit smoking cigarettes. Bad for my health. Doctors told me to quit, so I gotta quit.
What kind of resolutions have you kept?
Lost some weight.
What are your resolutions for 1991?
Try and lose some more.
Maybe I could find I better not say find a better job. My boss maybe wants it.
Even people with more far-reaching resolutions manage to sneak in something a little more personal.
I think it would be well if our community can treat children more kindly. I'm resolved to try to make the legislature appreciate the special needs of our city as they go into the 1991 session. And I need to lose about 7 pounds.
Well, Mayor, you're in good company. But while the rituals of making New Year's resolutions is fun, our failure to follow through because our goals are unattainable can have emotional consequences.
Then it's depressing. And they say, oh, see, I didn't do it again this year. Oh, it's just as bad as last year. And then the next year comes up and they say, but this year I'm going to do it right. And they start off, and then it falls apart.
The best advice, don't set yourself up for failure this year. But if you don't keep your resolutions in 1991, don't feel bad. You won't be alone. Gail Plawacki, KARE 11 News.
And Gail tells us that the experts say people are more successful in keeping their New Year's resolutions, not only by setting small goals, but also by writing them down and telling other people what they intend to do. We'll find out from Kevin in just a moment.
Hey, folks, Carla's got a little announcement to make next time on Cheers.
I'm pregnant.
Huh? So, who's the fall guy, huh?
You're right. He's not the father. I lied so he'd support.
Well, looks like it's time for Diane to lower the old baby boom.
Why don't you hum a few bars of this tune?
Rockabye Carla.
I don't believe it. I believe everything.
Next time on Cheers.
Tuesday at 10:35 on KARE 11.
Time for war on the floor! It's the U.S. Hot Rod Circuit of Champions, part of the Redman All-American Pulling Series, for the first time ever in St. Paul Civic Center, January 11th and 12th. Ground-pounding hot rods, wild, screaming muscle cars, and more! It's the biggest, baddest monster truck showdown around, with side-by-side monster truck racing! Tickets now, the box office and Ticketmaster, January 11th and 12th, St. Paul Civic Center. Be there! Be there!
Some people think first aid is kid stuff. Well, it's not. If you properly learn first aid, someday you might save somebody's life. Like CPR. Somebody appears to have stopped breathing. You can breathe life back into them. And if you know the Heimlich maneuver, you can keep somebody from choking to death. Ask your doctor. He'll tell you all about it. And you know what? Someday you may be real glad you learned first aid.
For years now, you've helped us at KARE 11 collect toys for tots. We know it may not be the big story of the year, but for some children in our area, it is the one story that really matters.
It's the season when we gather, bearing gifts that really matter. You know what matters.
A tradition that goes back more than 3 decades has been fulfilled for another year. A group of water skiers got together and, well, guess what they did? That's right, water ski. The tradition goes back to 1959. It started with a dare between 2 ski buffs to brave icy waters. Since then, only 5 times was the event nixed due to bad weather, and that obviously was not because of the cold.
Why? People jumping in?
Bad weather, I guess, to them would be warm weather.
Well, it was either that or watch football all day.
Yeah, I was going to say, was there enough football on today?
Oh, if you didn't get your fill today,
you're not going to get your fill.
We're going to go bowling once more for anybody who didn't get enough. College football fans sat through better than 12 hours of bowl blowouts today before seeing who would be crowned national champion. The answer provided at the Orange Bowl late tonight. Top-ranked Colorado facing 5th-ranked Notre Dame. A Colorado win would seal the national title pretty much. Notre Dame taking an early lead, but after scoring a second-quarter touchdown, their extra point attempt blocked, and what an important point missed it would be. So Colorado ends their season at 11-1-1, and they should be the #1 team when the polls come out tomorrow. A lot of Georgia Tech fans, though, think they deserve it. In the Citrus Bowl today, Georgia Tech blowing out Nebraska 45-21, and Georgia Tech finishes their season at 11-0-1. Nebraska playing shorthanded. Coach Tom Osborne suspended 5 of his players for break. Good matchup was expected at the Cotton Bowl, where everyone in Dallas thought Texas would have the home field advantage, but the Miami Hurricanes blew them away. Miami wasted little time in taking control, and they ran up the score. Quarterback Craig Erickson to Randall Hill, and Hill knew it was over, but Randall, where are you going? Still plenty of time left in the clock. Look at, he's still down on the runway doing a dance. By the end of the game, the entire Miami team, they got dance fever. And here's the final from that one. 46-3 Miami in an upset over Texas. In the Sugar Bowl, a great game that Tennessee came back from a 16-0 deficit to win 23-22 in the final 10 seconds of the game. And in the Fiesta Bowl, it was Louisville 34-7 over Alabama.